My mates just won the US Open. Why Adam Scott got off a plane to join a fellow pro's celebration. I imagine sitting on a plane, about to embark on a transatlantic flight. You check your phone, just before you have to shut it off, and you find out your buddy just won the US Open and wants you to come to celebrate with him. You figure out how to get off that plane, right? That's exactly what Adam Scott did back in 2006 when fellow Aussie Geoff Ogilvy won at Winged Foot. Scott told Golf's Subpar co-hosts Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz on this week's podcast he wasn't even sure Ogilvy was in contention. So we finished up the tournament, and I don't know where I finished, but not close to winning, Scott said. And, you know, Geoff was right up there, but he also wasn't necessarily looking like winning. There were so many people ahead of him. Scott was invited to fly with Ernie Els, which probably deserves a story of its own at some point. He invited me to fly back to London, which is dangerous at times, Scott said of taking to the skies with the he invited me to fly back to London, which is dangerous at times. Ogilvy started the final round one back of the lead and Phil Mickelson and Collins seemed destined for a playoff, but as many know, that didn't happen, and Ogilvy was the last man standing at 5 over. Scott wanted to be there with him. I thought, man, you know, we've played junior golf, amateur golf and basically I followed him to Europe and then came to America, Scott said. My mates just won the US Open. I think I've got to go back and celebrate with him. I didn't know who he had with him that week or who was around. So I thought, I'll go back for sure. I took my bags and went back to the golf course. I met him at the golf course and of course, you know, not thinking straight. He had a lot to do at the golf course after he won the US Open. Scott ended up waiting with Ogilvy's caddy back at the hotel for the champion to finish up his responsibilities before and join them. Wasn't it in like the lobby of the Hampton Inn? Stoltz asked. Wasn't it in like the lobby of the Hampton Inn? It was like the Marriott in White Plains or something like that, Scott said chuckling. It was like the Marriott in White Plains or something like that. You can listen to Scott's full subpar appearance below, in which he talks about the President's Cup, his career, where his family calls home now, and more.